Hello and welcome to this module for aspiring food safety officers. Today, we're diving into the human muscular system. It's more than just strength. It powers every movement, from lifting a box to your heart's beat. It enables you to perform your job's tasks. Think of your body as machinery, with the muscular system as its cables and motors. Understanding this system ensures your well-being and protects the food supply chain. Not all muscles are under your control. Maintain your physical health to meet job demands. Let's explore the muscular system. Why is a deep dive into the muscular system so important for my career? As a food safety officer, you are the frontline guardian of public health. Your role is active, dynamic, and physically demanding. You will be navigating bustling commercial kitchens and crowded warehouse environments. You'll be walking, standing, bending, crouching, and lifting. Each of these actions is powered entirely by your muscular system. Understanding this system can prevent strains or serious injuries that could put you out of work. By understanding how your muscles work and how to care for them, you're investing in your own professional effectiveness. It's about ensuring you have the physical stamina and mental clarity to protect the public from foodborne illnesses. Ultimately, this knowledge empowers you to be a safer, more resilient, and more effective officer. This module transforms anatomical facts into practical tools for a long, healthy, and successful career. The connection between the muscular system and workplace safety is profound, yet often overlooked until an injury occurs. Your workplace is a varied and often challenging series of environments. Every movement you make is a direct function of your muscles. Understanding your muscular system is a foundational lesson in protecting yourself from the inside out. Biomechanics is simply the study of how our bodies move. Without a conscious understanding of how to perform movements correctly, you increase your risk of acute injury. This module will provide you with the essential principles of safe movement. Repetitive tasks and sustained awkward postures are significant contributors to musculoskeletal disorders, or MSDs. You must also learn to assess the physical risks to yourself. This self-awareness and preparation are hallmarks of a true professional. Let's delve deeper into 3 critical areas where understanding the muscular system is absolutely essential for a food safety officer: posture, strain, and the impact of repetitive tasks. These 3 elements are intricately linked and can collectively determine your physical well-being throughout your career. Good posture is the starting point, the very foundation of efficient movement and injury prevention. It involves positioning your body to align your bones and joints correctly, which reduces stress on supporting muscles and ligaments. When you maintain good posture, your muscles work more efficiently, requiring less energy. For officers who spend hours on their feet, good posture is the first line of defense against fatigue and back pain. Now let's talk about muscular strain. A strain occurs when a muscle is overstretched or torn. This common injury often results from a single incident, such as lifting something too heavy or moving awkwardly. Understanding your muscular anatomy helps prevent such incidents. Your leg muscles, like the quadriceps and glutes, are much larger and stronger than your lower back muscles. This informs the golden rule of lift with your legs, not your back. This simple principle can save you from debilitating pain and lost work time. This module will help you identify major muscle groups and understand their capacity, empowering you to make safer choices instinctively. The third piece is the challenge of repetitive tasks. Unlike acute strain from a single event, repetitive strain injuries develop over time. They're caused by repeating the same motions over and over, leading to inflammation and damage to muscles and tendons. As a food safety officer, your job involves many such tasks: typing inspection reports, using handheld scanners, or the repetitive motion of walking on hard surfaces. Understanding which muscle groups are used allows you to be proactive. You can learn specific stretches, ensure ergonomic workstations, and take micro breaks to rest specific muscles. This awareness turns harmful routines into manageable ones. Together, posture, strain, and repetition form a triangle of risk every food safety officer must manage. Poor attention to one area increases risk in others. Poor posture makes you more susceptible to both strain types because muscles work from a disadvantaged, fatigued position. By building knowledge about your muscular system, you gain the ability to manage all 3 aspects effectively. You learn to maintain energy-conserving posture, move to prevent sudden injury, and mitigate cumulative stress from repetitive work. This integrated approach is the key to longevity and health in a physically demanding profession. This module will guide you through the essentials of the muscular system, preparing you for exams and your career. We'll cover the major components and functions, exploring how muscles provide movement, stability, and heat. You'll learn about skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscle, understanding their unique roles. We will also dive into muscle mechanics, explaining how muscles contract and work in pairs. Finally, we'll connect this knowledge to food safety, discussing safe lifting and injury prevention. Let's get started with the muscular system overview. Welcome back. Now that we've established why the muscular system is so critical for your role as a food safety officer, let's define the muscular system. It's a vast network of over 600 muscles distributed throughout your body. This system converts chemical energy into mechanical force, enabling you to interact with the world. It includes muscles that move your bones, help you blink, and keep your internal organs functioning. It gives your body the ability to perform an incredible range of activities. Muscles contract when they receive a signal. This contraction is at the heart of everything, from a powerful leap to the gentle beat of your heart. Muscles operate in coordinated groups for smooth, controlled movements. This system allows you to perform the physical demands of your job safely and effectively. It maintains your posture and helps regulate your body temperature. The muscular system's functions extend beyond movement. It maintains posture, even when still, through continuous muscle tone. Tendons stabilize joints, preventing injury. Muscle contractions generate heat, crucial for body temperature. Smooth and cardiac muscles control internal movement, like digestion and blood flow. These functions are vital for food safety officers in various work environments. Let's explore the major upper body muscle groups. The pectoralis major in your chest pulls your arm across your body. In your back, the latissimus dorsi are your primary pulling muscles. Your shoulders are capped by the deltoids, which allow you to lift your arm in any direction. In your arms, the biceps bend your elbow, while the triceps straighten it. Forearm and hand muscles control grip and fine motor skills. Awareness of these muscles helps prevent strains and injuries. Let's focus on your lower body, the powerhouse for movement and stability. Your core, including abs and lower back, stabilizes your torso and protects your spine. The gluteus maximus drives hip extension for walking, standing, and climbing. Quadriceps straighten your knees, hamstrings bend them. Both are vital for lifting and movement. Calf muscles propel you forward with every step. Relying on these strong muscles protects your back and keeps you moving efficiently. Muscles need energy powered by ATP, the body's cellular fuel. For quick bursts, your muscles use the phosphagen system, fueled by creatine phosphate. For moderate efforts, the glycolytic system breaks down carbs, producing energy and lactic acid. For long-lasting activity, the oxidative system uses oxygen to burn carbs and fats. Endurance depends on this oxygen-based system, so good nutrition and cardiovascular health matter. Take breaks to let your energy stores recover and keep your muscles working strong. Muscles and bones form the musculoskeletal system, your body's movement engine. Muscles attach to bones via tendons. When muscles contract, they pull bones to create movement. This lever system lets you walk, lift, and perform daily tasks. Core muscles stabilize your spine, protecting it during lifting and movement. Weak muscles force bones and ligaments to take on extra stress, risking injury. Bones store minerals like calcium, essential for muscle contraction. Keep both muscles and bones healthy for a long, injury-free career. Every muscle action starts with a signal from your brain, sent through motor neurons. At the neuromuscular junction, this signal triggers muscle contraction. Large muscles use big motor units for power. Small muscles use tiny units for precision. Your brain recruits more motor units for heavier tasks, adjusting force as needed. This system allows both delicate and powerful movements. Focus is key. Distraction can disrupt this communication and cause mistakes. Understanding this helps you move safely and efficiently. Even at rest, your muscles maintain tone, a low-level contraction that keeps you upright. Muscle tone stabilizes joints and supports posture, counteracting gravity. Your nervous system constantly adjusts muscle tone to keep you balanced. Good tone means quick reactions. Poor tone leads to fatigue or instability. Regular activity keeps muscle tone healthy and posture strong. Supportive footwear and brakes help postural muscles recover during long shifts. Remember, standing tall is active work. Support your body with healthy habits. Let's zoom in to see the structure of a single skeletal muscle. What we think of as one muscle, like the biceps, is actually a highly organized bundle of tissues. The muscle is wrapped in a tough outer sheath. Inside are smaller bundles called fascicles, containing muscle fibers. Within each fiber are myofibrils, where proteins slide to cause contraction. At the muscle's end, connective tissues form a tendon, anchoring it to bone. This design channels force efficiently to create movement. A muscle strain is a tear in these fibers. This complex system provides strength and flexibility. Now that we have a solid overview of the muscular system, it's time to zoom in and explore its different components. The muscular system is composed of three distinct types of muscle tissue: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. Each type has a unique structure, function, location, and method of control. Understanding the differences between these three specialists is fundamental to appreciating how your body performs. Throughout this section, we will examine each of these muscle types in detail. We will look at what makes them structurally unique, where they are found in the body, and what specific functions they are designed to carry out. Let's begin our detailed exploration with the muscle type we are most familiar with, the one responsible for every move you make: skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle makes up about 40% of your total body mass. These are the movers and shakers of your body, responsible for every voluntary action you perform. They are attached to the bones of your skeleton, producing movement at the joints. The defining characteristic of skeletal muscle is that it is under voluntary control. Beyond movement, skeletal muscles are essential for maintaining your posture and act as a protective layer for your internal organs. Furthermore, these muscles are a vital source of heat for the body. From a food safety officer's perspective, the health and conditioning of your skeletal muscles are paramount. Understanding that these are the muscles you can train and strengthen through exercise gives you direct control over your physical capacity. Skeletal muscle's power comes from its unique structure. Muscle fibers are long, cylindrical, and multinucleated. Their most striking feature is a striped appearance, hence, striated muscle. This pattern arises from organized contractile proteins. Muscle fibers contain myofibrils, composed of thick, myosin, and thin actin filaments. The functional unit, the sarcomere, contracts via the sliding filament model. Millions of sarcomeres shortening simultaneously generate force, enabling movement. This efficient design makes skeletal muscles ideal for body movement. Now let's turn our attention to the second type of muscle, the unsung hero of the muscular system, smooth muscle. Unlike the powerful and showy skeletal muscles, smooth muscle works silently and automatically, without any conscious thought or effort from you. It is the involuntary workforce that manages the crucial internal operations of your body. You cannot command your smooth muscles to work. They are under the control of the autonomic nervous system, the part of your nervous system that handles all the background processes necessary for life. This is why you don't have to remember to digest your food or to regulate your blood pressure. Your smooth muscles handle these vital tasks for you, day and night, without fail. Structurally, smooth muscle is very different from skeletal muscle. When viewed under a microscope, its cells are spindle-shaped, meaning they are wide in the middle and taper to a point at each end. Each cell contains only a single central nucleus. Most importantly, smooth muscle lacks the distinct striped or striated pattern that we see in skeletal muscle. This is why it is called smooth. While it still contains the same contractile proteins, actin and myosin, they are not arranged in the same highly organized, repeating sarcomere pattern. Instead, they are arranged more randomly throughout the cell, forming a crisscrossing network. This different arrangement is directly related to its different function. The contractions of smooth muscle are generally much slower and more sustained than the rapid, powerful contractions of skeletal muscle. Think of the slow, rhythmic waves of contraction that move food through your intestines, a process called peristalsis. This type of prolonged, wave-like action is what smooth muscle excels at. Because of their less rigid internal structure, smooth muscle cells can contract and stretch to a much greater extent than skeletal muscle fibers. This property is extremely important in organs that need to expand and contract, such as the stomach, which needs to stretch to accommodate a large meal, or the urinary bladder, which must expand to hold urine and then contract to expel it. For a food safety officer, the function of smooth muscle is a constant and vital backdrop to your workday. The smooth muscles in the walls of your blood vessels are continuously adjusting their diameter to direct blood flow to the skeletal muscles that need it most, ensuring they get the oxygen and fuel required for walking and standing. The smooth muscles of your digestive system are working to process the lunch you ate, providing a steady supply of energy throughout your afternoon inspections. While you focus on the external environment, your involuntary smooth muscles are expertly managing your internal environment, providing the stable foundation of health that allows you to perform your demanding job. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of most hollow organs and tubes. It's prominent in the gastrointestinal tract, aiding digestion. In the cardiovascular system, it regulates blood pressure. It's also in the respiratory system, controlling airflow in the lungs. In the urinary system, it allows the bladder to stretch and contract. Smooth muscle in the eyes controls pupil size, regulating light. This distribution highlights its role in maintaining a stable internal environment. Cardiac muscle is unique, found only in the heart walls. It powers continuous contractions, pumping blood throughout the body. Like skeletal muscle, it's striated, giving it the strength for powerful contractions. Unlike skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle is involuntary. Its rhythm is automatically regulated, ensuring continuous blood circulation, vital for all bodily functions. Maintaining cardiovascular health is essential. Cardiac muscle has unique properties, perfectly adapting it for its relentless job. Cells connect via intercalated discs with desmosomes and gap junctions. Gap junctions allow electrical signals to pass quickly, enabling coordinated contraction as a functional syncytium. Autorhythmicity means the heart has its own internal pacemaker. A long refractory period prevents tetanus, ensuring rhythmic pump and fill cycles. Having explored each of the three muscle types individually, it is helpful to bring them all together for a direct comparison. This will solidify your understanding of their key differences and highlight how each is perfectly adapted for its specific role in the body. The most fundamental points of comparison are their structure, control mechanism, location, and primary function. Let's start with their appearance, or histology. Skeletal muscle is characterized by its long cylindrical, multinucleated fibers and its distinct striated pattern. Cardiac muscle is also striated, but its cells are shorter, branched, and typically have only one nucleus, connected by unique intercalated discs. Smooth muscle stands apart with its spindle-shaped, non-striated cells, each containing a single nucleus. The next major difference lies in their method of control. This is perhaps the most important distinction from a functional perspective. Skeletal muscle is the only one of the three that is under voluntary control. You consciously decide when to contract it. Both smooth muscle and cardiac muscle are involuntary, operating automatically under the control of the autonomic nervous system and hormonal signals. You do not need to think about their function for them to work. This division of labor is incredibly efficient, freeing up your conscious mind to focus on external tasks, while your body's internal machinery runs itself smoothly and reliably in the background, a process essential for a role as demanding as a food safety officer. Their locations in the body are also completely distinct and directly related to their functions. Skeletal muscle, as its name suggests, is primarily attached to the skeleton, enabling movement of the body and its limbs. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of hollow internal organs and tubes, such as the digestive tract, blood vessels, bladder, and airways, where it controls the movement of substances within these systems. Cardiac muscle is exclusively located in the walls of the heart, with the sole purpose of pumping blood. You will not find these muscle types in the wrong places. Their specialization dictates their precise location and contribution to the body's overall function. Finally, let's summarize their primary functions. The function of skeletal muscle is to produce body movement, maintain posture, and generate heat. The function of smooth muscle is to control the slow, sustained, involuntary movements of internal organs, such as peristalsis in the gut or regulation of blood vessel diameter. The function of cardiac muscle is to produce the powerful, rhythmic, and involuntary contractions of the heart that pump blood throughout the body. Recognizing these clear-cut differences in structure, control, location, and function will provide you with a robust framework for understanding the entire muscular system and answering any exam questions on the topic with confidence. While we have discussed the three muscle types as separate and distinct entities, it is crucial to understand that in a living, functioning body, they work in constant cooperation. They form an integrated system where the actions of one type directly support and enable the functions of the others. This seamless teamwork is essential for your overall health and your ability to perform complex activities. For a food safety officer on the job, this cooperation is happening every second. Your decision to walk across a processing plant floor is the start of a beautiful symphony of muscular collaboration, a perfect example of how the three specialists work together to achieve a common goal. Let's trace the sequence of events. First, you make the conscious decision to walk. Your brain sends signals to your voluntary skeletal muscles in your legs and core. These muscles contract and relax in a coordinated sequence to produce the motion of walking. This is the most visible part of the process. However, for your skeletal muscles to do this work, they need a continuous and increased supply of energy and oxygen. This is where the involuntary muscles step in to provide critical support. Your cardiac muscle, the heart, begins to beat faster and more forcefully, pumping more oxygen-rich blood out to the body to meet the increased demand from your working leg muscles. Simultaneously, the smooth muscles in the walls of your blood vessels spring into action. The smooth muscles in the arteries leading to your leg muscles relax, causing the vessels to widen. This vasodilation allows more blood to be delivered directly to the muscles that need it most. At the same time, smooth muscles in arteries leading to less active areas, like your digestive system, might contract slightly, temporarily redirecting blood flow to prioritize the immediate physical task. All of this happens automatically, without a single conscious thought from you. Your involuntary systems are expertly managing the logistics of energy supply to support the actions of your voluntary system. This intricate collaboration highlights the interconnectedness of your body's systems. The skeletal muscles perform the external work, the cardiac muscle powers the central delivery system, and the smooth muscles manage the local distribution network. A failure or weakness in any one of these muscle types would compromise the entire operation. For instance, a weak heart or cardiac muscle would be unable to supply enough blood, causing the skeletal muscles to fatigue very quickly. This is why a holistic approach to health, which includes cardiovascular exercise for your heart, strength training for your skeletal muscles, and good nutrition for all systems, is so important for maintaining the physical capacity required for your demanding and vital role. Welcome back. How does a muscle receive the command to move? It begins with a thought in your brain, translated into an electrical signal that travels down a motor neuron. This signal reaches the muscle at the neuromuscular junction. The axon terminal releases acetylcholine into the synaptic cleft. Acetylcholine molecules float across to the motor end plate, binding to protein receptors, opening channels, and creating an electrical wave. This triggers muscle contraction, the foundation of every voluntary movement. Without this, movement would be impossible. The electrical signal spreads across the muscle fiber, triggering the physical shortening, or contraction. This is explained by the sliding filament model. Inside sarcomeres, thick myosin and thin actin filaments slide past one another. Myosin heads attach to actin, forming cross bridges and pulling the actin filament. This generates force. This cycle repeats, shortening the muscle fiber. This microscopic action generates the force needed to lift a heavy box. The sliding filament model converts ATP energy into mechanical force. When we talk about how a muscle contracts, it's important to understand a fundamental rule that governs individual muscle fibers and the motor neurons that control them. This rule is known as the all-or-none principle. In simple terms, this principle states that if a stimulus from a motor neuron is strong enough to reach a certain threshold, the muscle fiber it connects to will contract completely. It gives its all. However, if the stimulus is below this threshold, nothing will happen at all. The muscle fiber will not contract even a little bit. There is no such thing as a partial contraction for a single muscle fiber. It either fires with maximum force for its current condition, or it remains completely relaxed. Think of it like a light switch. You can't turn a light switch half on. You either flip it all the way to the on position and the light comes on completely, or you don't push it hard enough to click and the light stays off. A single muscle fiber behaves in exactly the same way. The threshold is the minimum amount of stimulation required to generate that action potential, the electrical wave that spreads across the muscle fiber and initiates the contraction process. Once that threshold is reached, a full-blown, irreversible contraction of that fiber occurs. A stronger signal from the nerve does not make that individual fiber contract any harder. It has already given its maximum effort. This principle applies not just to the muscle fiber, but to the entire motor unit. Remember, a motor unit consists of one motor neuron and all the individual muscle fibers it controls. When that single motor neuron fires, it sends a signal that is strong enough to trigger a contraction in every single muscle fiber it is connected to. Therefore, all the fibers within that one motor unit contract in unison, and they all contract completely. This ensures that the activation of a motor unit results in a synchronized and predictable burst of force. It's an efficient system that removes any ambiguity from the command. The order is either go or no go. You might be wondering if a muscle fiber can only contract completely or not at all. How do we perform delicate movements or lift objects of varying weights? How can we pick up a fragile egg with a gentle touch, but also lift a heavy sack of potatoes with great force? The answer does not lie in changing the strength of a single fiber's contraction. Instead, it lies in the body's ability to control how many motor units it activates at any given time. This brilliant strategy of recruitment is how our nervous system grades the force of a whole muscle. And we will explore this fascinating process in the very next section. Motor unit recruitment controls muscle force. Muscles have motor units of varying sizes. The brain controls which and how many are activated. This produces a wide spectrum of force. Delicate tasks use small motor units. Heavier objects require larger units. Progressively larger motor units increase force. Rotating activation delays fatigue during sustained activities. Recruitment manages resources to meet physical challenges. Muscles work together in coordinated groups to produce smooth, controlled movements. It is essential to understand the different roles that muscles can play within these partnerships. The three main roles are the agonist, the antagonist, and the synergist. The agonist is primarily responsible for causing a specific movement. The antagonist is the muscle that opposes the action of the agonist. Synergist muscles are the helpers in a movement. This teamwork allows for the vast range of skilled, coordinated movements your job demands. Muscle contraction isn't just shortening to move a load, it's generating tension, whether shortening, staying the same length, or lengthening. Understanding this is crucial for appreciating how muscles support you daily. There are isotonic contractions, where the muscle changes length, and isometric contractions, where it does not. Concentric contractions involve muscle shortening, like lifting a box. Eccentric contractions involve muscle lengthening, controlling movement and absorbing shock. Isometric contractions mean same length, like pushing a wall, muscles fire but don't shorten. This is essential for posture and stabilizing the body. We've talked about the nerve signal and the sliding filaments, but there is a crucial middleman in this process, a chemical messenger that acts as the ultimate on switch for muscle contraction. This messenger is the calcium ion, or K2+. Without calcium, a muscle fiber would be unable to contract, even if it received a signal from a motor neuron. Inside a resting muscle fiber, the concentration of calcium is kept extremely low in the main part of the cell. Instead, it is actively pumped into and stored within a specialized internal membrane network called the sarcoplasmic reticulum, or SR, which surrounds the myofibrils like a lace sleeve. This SR acts as a calcium reservoir, holding the ions until they are needed. When the electrical action potential from the nerve signal spreads across the muscle fiber's surface, it travels down special tubes called T-tubules that dive deep into the cell's interior. This electrical signal running along the T-tubules acts as a direct trigger for the sarcoplasmic reticulum. In response, the SR opens its floodgates, releasing a massive amount of stored calcium ions into the intracellular fluid surrounding the myofibrils. This sudden and dramatic increase in the local calcium concentration is the event that initiates the entire contraction process. The calcium floods the area around the actin and myosin filaments, ready to perform its critical job. So, what exactly does this calcium do? It interacts with a set of regulatory proteins that are attached to the thin actin filaments. These proteins, called troponin and tropomyosin, act as a safety lock. In a resting muscle, the long, thin tropomyosin protein physically covers the active binding sites on the actin filament, preventing the myosin heads from being able to attach. The troponin protein is attached to the tropomyosin and acts as the handle for this lock. When calcium ions are released, they bind to the troponin. This binding causes the troponin to change its shape, which in turn pulls the tropomyosin strand away from the actin binding sites, exposing them. With the binding sites now uncovered, the myosin heads are free to attach to the actin and begin the cycle of power strokes described by the sliding filament model. Calcium is therefore the essential link between the electrical signal, or excitation, and the mechanical contraction. It is the molecular switch that turns the muscle on. When the nerve signal stops, the process reverses. Calcium is rapidly pumped back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum. The troponin-tropomyosin complex moves back to cover the actin binding sites. The myosin heads can no longer attach, and the muscle fiber relaxes. This precise and rapid control of calcium levels is what allows for the quick onset and cessation of muscle contraction. Every food safety officer knows the feeling of muscle fatigue. It's a decline in a muscle's ability to generate force, a natural response preventing serious injury. Fatigue results from disrupted energy supply and metabolic byproducts. Central fatigue involves the brain reducing signals to muscles, a protective mechanism. Recognizing fatigue signs is crucial for workplace safety. Take breaks, rehydrate, and adjust your position. Pushing through fatigue increases the risk of mistakes and injuries. Let's see how muscle action applies to the real-world physical tasks of a food safety officer. Imagine you are starting an inspection at a large food processing facility. Lifting your heavy kit engages your muscular system. Walking across the factory floor involves complex muscle interplay. During the inspection, even seemingly simple actions require coordinated muscle work. A controlled squat involves eccentric contractions. After a long day, even writing your report requires constant muscle work. By day's end, fatigue sets in. This shows that understanding muscles helps with the physical demands of your job. Let's connect our understanding of the muscular system to your career as a food safety officer. The role is physically demanding, requiring endurance, strength, and precision. A typical day is spent out in the field, navigating challenging environments. Consider the variety of movements required and the constant flow of physical tasks. Understanding the muscles involved is the first step toward performing tasks more safely. Your body is your primary tool, requiring proper use, care, and maintenance. Mitigate risks, conserve energy, and prevent wear and tear. This proactive mindset is key to a long, healthy, and effective career. Back injuries from improper lifting are common and potentially debilitating. As a food safety officer, you'll lift various objects. Proper lifting protects your health. Use your legs, not your back. Plan, assess the weight, and clear your path. Position yourself close to the load, feet shoulder-width apart. Bend at your hips and knees, keeping your back straight. Keep the object close to your body and engage your core. Improper lifting can cause strains and serious injuries. Practice safe habits with every lift. If it's too heavy, get help or use equipment. Protecting your back ensures long-term health and effectiveness. Poor posture can threaten the long-term health of a food safety officer. Good posture aligns your body, minimizing strain on muscles and ligaments. When your head is balanced, shoulders pulled back and core engaged, your bones and joints align properly. Conversely, poor posture disrupts this alignment, overworking some muscles while weakening others. Maintaining good posture is challenging in a food safety officer's daily routine. The key is awareness and correction. Reset by standing tall, rolling your shoulders back and tightening your core. Good posture requires strengthening key muscles and stretching tight ones. Investing in postural awareness and exercises protects your professional longevity. Prevent aches and pains and maintain effectiveness in protecting public health. While a sudden lifting injury is a dramatic and obvious hazard, a more insidious and equally debilitating risk for food safety officers comes from repetitive strain injuries, or RSIs. An RSI is a general term used to describe the pain and dysfunction felt in muscles, nerves, and tendons caused by repetitive movement and overuse. These injuries don't happen because of a single event, but develop gradually over weeks, months, or even years of performing the same tasks over and over again. The damage is cumulative, caused by thousands of small, repeated stresses that don't give the affected tissues enough time to heal and recover. For officers, this can manifest in the hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders, or neck. Think about the common repetitive tasks in your daily workflow. This could include extensive typing on a small handheld device or laptop to input inspection data, leading to conditions like carpal tunnel syndrome, which affects the nerves in the wrist. It could be the repetitive motion of using a calibrated thermometer, taking dozens of readings in a single visit. Even the constant gripping of a steering wheel while driving between numerous sites can contribute to strain in the forearm muscles. The danger of RSIs lies in their subtle onset. It might start as a minor ache, a feeling of tingling, or slight weakness, which is easy to ignore. However, if the repetitive activity continues without intervention, it can progress to chronic pain, loss of strength, and significant functional impairment. Preventing RSIs requires a proactive approach focused on breaking the cycle of repetition and strain. One of the most effective strategies is to vary your tasks throughout the day whenever possible. Instead of spending 2 consecutive hours typing a report, alternate between typing, making phone calls, and organizing your physical paperwork. When performing a repetitive task, take frequent short breaks, often called micro breaks. Every 20 to 30 minutes, stop what you are doing for a minute or 2. Stretch your hands, wrists, and shoulders. Simply changing your position and moving around can provide immense relief to the overworked tissues by restoring blood flow and allowing them to relax. Furthermore, pay close attention to your technique and posture during these repetitive tasks. Ensure your wrists are in a neutral, straight position when typing, not bent up or down. Use a light touch instead of gripping a pen or stylus with excessive force. This is where your understanding of muscle function becomes a practical tool for self-preservation. By recognizing which muscles are being overused, you can consciously relax them and perform specific stretches to counteract the strain. RSIs are a serious occupational hazard. but they are largely preventable through awareness, task variation, regular breaks, and proper ergonomic practices, ensuring your hands and arms remain healthy tools for your entire career. Ergonomics is about designing your environment for efficiency and safety. For food safety officers whose workspace is constantly changing, this is crucial. Adapt your environment and tools to fit your body. Your vehicle is your mobile office. Adjust your seat to avoid fatigue. On site, create temporary ergonomic setups. Use kneeling pads and squat instead of bending. Carry your kit in a backpack for even weight distribution. Choose comfortable, lightweight tools. Always think, how can I make this task physically easier? Applying these principles reduces fatigue and lowers your risk of musculoskeletal disorders. A crucial aspect of a food safety officer's job is the adherence to strict hygiene protocols, particularly proper hand washing. The prescribed method requires a sustained physical posture and muscle action that can be surprisingly fatiguing when performed dozens of times a day. The standard procedure involves scrubbing all surfaces of the hands and wrists vigorously for at least 20 seconds. This requires both isometric and isotonic muscle endurance. This principle extends beyond hand washing to other hygiene-related tasks. Therefore, building good muscular endurance is a key component of being able to perform your job effectively and without discomfort. Regular physical activity helps improve the fatigue resistance of your muscles. Slips, trips, and falls are among the most common causes of workplace injuries across all industries, and the environments where food safety officers work are often rife with these hazards. Floors in commercial kitchens, processing plants, and loading docks can be wet, greasy, or cluttered, creating unpredictable and dangerous surfaces. While caution and awareness are your first lines of defense, your muscular system plays a critical split-second role in preventing a potential slip or trip from becoming a serious fall and injury. This is where the concepts of muscle reaction time, coordination, and proprioception become vitally important for your safety. When you unexpectedly step on a slippery patch, or your foot catches on an obstacle, your body is suddenly thrown off balance. In that instant, sensory receptors in your muscles, tendons, and joints, as well as your inner ear and eyes, send a barrage of emergency signals to your brain and spinal cord. The nervous system must then process this information and fire back commands to dozens of muscles throughout your body to execute a corrective action. This entire sequence happens in fractions of a second. A rapid and powerful contraction of muscles in your legs, core, and even your arms is required to shift your center of gravity and restore your stability. The effectiveness of this life-saving reflex depends heavily on the health and conditioning of your muscular system. Muscles that are strong and well-conditioned can react more forcefully and quickly. Good muscle tone means your muscles are in a state of readiness, able to generate a corrective force with minimal delay. Conversely, if your muscles are fatigued from a long day of walking and standing, their reaction time will be slower and the contractions weaker, significantly increasing the likelihood that a slip will result in a hard fall. Strong core muscles are particularly crucial, as they act as the central anchor for stabilizing the rest of your body during a sudden loss of balance. You can actively train your body to be more resilient to these hazards. Exercises that challenge your balance, such as standing on one leg, yoga, or using balance boards, can improve your proprioception and the efficiency of your neuromuscular reflexes. Strength training, particularly for the legs and core, ensures you have the power needed to recover from a stumble. This is not about becoming an athlete. It's about building a buffer of functional fitness that directly enhances your safety in unpredictable work environments. By maintaining a responsive and strong muscular system, you are equipping your body with its own internal automatic safety harness, ready to catch you when you need it most. For professionals on their feet all day, footwear is critical for muscular health. Your feet are your foundation, and each step sends force through your body. Proper footwear cushions impacts and provides stability. The right shoes should have cushioning, arch support, and a firm heel counter. A non-slip outsole is essential for food safety, enhancing safety and reducing fatigue. Invest in quality, durable shoes for muscular health and replace them regularly. Finally, it is essential to recognize that maintaining a healthy muscular system is an ongoing commitment that extends beyond the workday. The physical demands of being a food safety officer require a certain level of functional fitness. A regular, well-rounded exercise program is not a luxury. It is a professional necessity for injury prevention, fatigue management, and overall effectiveness. This doesn't mean you need to train like a professional athlete, but incorporating a balance of cardiovascular, strength, and flexibility training into your weekly routine will pay enormous dividends for your health and career longevity. It builds the resilience your body needs to handle the daily physical stresses of the job. Cardiovascular exercise, such as brisk walking, cycling, or swimming, is crucial for strengthening the most important muscle in your body, your heart. A strong cardiac muscle and efficient circulatory system ensure that your working skeletal muscles receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to sustain activity for long periods. This directly combats fatigue. Strength training, using weights, resistance bands, or your own body weight, builds the capacity of your skeletal muscles. Focusing on compound movements that work multiple muscle groups at once, like squats, lunges, and rows, is particularly effective for building the functional strength needed for lifting, carrying, and maintaining good posture. A strong body is a resilient body. Flexibility and mobility work, through activities like stretching or yoga, are equally important. As we've discussed, many of the tasks and postures required in your job can lead to muscle tightness, particularly in the back, hamstrings, and chest. Regular stretching helps to relieve this tension, improve your range of motion, and restore muscular balance, which is crucial for preventing postural problems and reducing the risk of muscle strains. Taking just 10 to 15 minutes a day to stretch can counteract hours of physical stress and leave you feeling more mobile and less stiff. It is a vital component of muscular maintenance. Just as important as activity is recovery. Your muscles don't get stronger during exercise, they get stronger during the rest period that follows. This is when the microscopic damage done during exertion is repaired, and the muscle tissue adapts by becoming stronger. Prioritizing adequate sleep is the most critical aspect of recovery, as this is when your body releases growth hormones that facilitate tissue repair. Proper nutrition provides the building blocks for this repair, and hydration is essential for all cellular processes. By embracing a holistic approach that includes regular exercise and prioritizes recovery, you are not just staying fit. You are actively managing your primary professional tool, your body, ensuring it remains strong, healthy, and capable of meeting the challenges of your vital career. Welcome to the review section. Let's test your knowledge of the muscular system with multiple choice questions. Pause, consider, and select your answer before the solution is revealed. First, some general concepts and the upper body. Question 1. Which is not a primary function of the muscular system? A. Production of movement. B. Maintenance of posture. C. Generation of heat. D. Storage of minerals like calcium. The answer is D. Calcium is essential for muscle contraction, but the skeletal system primarily stores minerals. Let's check your knowledge of lower body muscles and the energy systems that fuel muscular activity, crucial for food safety officers. Question 4. Which muscle group is primarily used when squatting to lift a heavy box? D. Gluteus maximus and quadriceps. Correct. These are the body's most powerful muscles for hip and knee extension. Question 5. Which energy system fuels a quick 10-second dash? C. The phosphagen system. Exactly. It provides immediate power but depletes quickly. Question 6. What energy system powers 2 hours of continuous walking? B. The oxidative system. Right. This system uses oxygen for long-term endurance. Let's review the 3 types of muscle tissue: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. These questions will test your knowledge of muscle types and how they work together. Question 7. Which characteristic is unique to cardiac muscle tissue? D. It contains intercalated discs and is autorhythmic. The correct answer. Question 8. Which type of muscle produces peristalsis? C. Smooth muscle. Question 9. During a biceps curl, what role does the triceps play? C. It is the antagonist. The correct answer. Let's test your knowledge of muscle contraction, including the neuromuscular junction and sliding filaments. Question 10. The all or none principle states: C. A motor neuron signal will cause a muscle fiber to contract completely, or not at all. Question 11. What neurotransmitter is released at the neuromuscular junction? D. Acetylcholine. Question 12. According to the sliding filament model, muscle contraction occurs when C. The myosin heads attach to actin and pull the thin filaments toward the center. This section links our study of the muscular system to the realities of being a food safety officer. These questions cover safe work practices, injury prevention, and ergonomics. Let's assess your ability to make these critical connections. Question 13. Which ergonomic principle is most important for a food safety officer who drives a lot? The correct answer is B. Adjusting the car seat and mirrors for optimal posture and visibility. Question 14. An injury that develops over time from repetitive motions is best described as a. The correct answer is C, repetitive strain injury, or RSI, caused by cumulative damage. Question 15. What's the most effective way to reduce muscular fatigue and pain when standing on a hard floor? The correct answer is B, wearing high-quality, supportive, and cushioned footwear. As we conclude our deep dive into the muscular system, let's consolidate the most critical information into a series of key takeaways. These are the core concepts that you should carry with you, both for your examinations and for your professional practice. First and foremost, remember that the muscular system's functions go far beyond simple movement. It's responsible for maintaining your posture against gravity, stabilizing your joints to prevent injury, and generating essential body heat. Understanding this multifunctionality is key to appreciating its importance to your overall health and work capacity. Think of it as the dynamic system that allows you to move, stand, and stay warm. Second, master the distinction between the three specialized muscle types. Skeletal muscle is voluntary, striated, and moves your skeleton, making it the workhorse for all your job-related physical tasks. Smooth muscle is involuntary, non-striated, and manages your internal organs and blood vessels, working silently to keep you running. Cardiac muscle is involuntary, striated, and found only in the heart, serving as the body's tireless and essential pump. Recognizing which type of muscle is responsible for a given action, from lifting a box to digesting your lunch, is a fundamental piece of physiological knowledge. Third, embed the principles of muscle action into your thinking. The process begins with a nerve signal at the neuromuscular junction, using acetylcholine to spark a reaction. This leads to the sliding filament mechanism, where calcium acts as the on switch, allowing myosin to pull on actin and generate force. Remember that individual muscle fibers follow the all-or-none principle, but the force of a whole muscle is precisely controlled through the recruitment of more or fewer motor units. This intricate system of control allows for both powerful actions and delicate precision in your daily tasks. Finally, and most importantly, always connect this knowledge back to your role as a food safety officer. Safe lifting mechanics using your legs, not your back, are non-negotiable for preventing acute injury. Maintaining good posture and applying ergonomic principles in the field are your best defenses against chronic strain and repetitive strain injuries. Your choice of supportive footwear is a critical tool for your professional endurance. By actively applying these principles, you are not just learning biology. You are investing in a long, healthy, and successful career, ensuring your body can support you in your vital mission of protecting public health. We have covered a vast amount of information in this module, from the largest muscle groups in your body to the microscopic dance of proteins that creates movement. My hope is that you now see the muscular system not as a list of facts to be memorized for an exam, but as a deeply relevant and practical subject that is fundamental to your success and well-being as a food safety officer. The knowledge you have gained is a powerful tool. It empowers you to understand the physical demands of your job, to recognize potential hazards to your own body, and to take proactive steps to mitigate those risks every single day. As you move forward in your training and into your career, I urge you to keep these principles at the forefront of your mind. When you lift a box, consciously think about activating your powerful leg muscles. When you find yourself standing for a long time, do a quick mental check of your posture. When you sit down in your vehicle, take 10 seconds to ensure your seat is adjusted correctly. These small mindful actions, when practiced consistently, become ingrained habits. They are the habits that will protect you from the common musculoskeletal injuries that can shorten careers and diminish quality of life in physically demanding professions. Think of your body as your most essential piece of professional equipment. You would never neglect the calibration of your thermometer or the maintenance of your vehicle, because these tools are critical to your job. Your muscular system deserves even greater attention and care. Nurture it with regular physical activity that builds strength and endurance. Support it with good nutrition and hydration. Allow it to recover with adequate rest and sleep. This holistic approach to your own health is not separate from your professional development. It is an integral part of it. A healthy officer is a more alert, more resilient, and more effective officer. Ultimately, the goal of this module is to empower you. You now have the knowledge to work in a way that is not only effective for ensuring food safety, but also sustainable for your own body. You can identify risks, implement controls, and build a foundation of physical resilience that will serve you for decades to come. Use this knowledge wisely, apply it consistently, and you will be well equipped to handle the physical challenges of your vital role, ensuring a long, productive, and healthy career as a guardian of public health. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you the very best in your studies and your future inspections. As we conclude our exploration, let's admire the muscular system. It's the engine of action, translating thoughts into physical reality. From large muscle groups to microscopic filaments, it's complex, efficient, and adaptable. More than just movement, it maintains posture, generates heat, and protects joints. Understanding the specialized roles of skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscles is crucial. We explored muscle mechanics from nerve impulses to the sliding filament mechanism. This knowledge transforms movement into a neuromuscular marvel. Appreciate this intricate system. Understanding it is key to maintaining peak performance. Throughout this module, we've emphasized the connection between the muscular system and your role as a food safety officer. This knowledge isn't just useful, it's a form of personal and professional power. Your role as a guardian of public health demands sharp senses and critical thinking. Understanding your muscular system is the operating manual for your body, your primary professional tool. This knowledge empowers you to identify risks and mitigate them effectively. It also gives you the power of endurance, informing your approach to pacing and self-care. Ultimately, this translates into professional longevity, ensuring you can perform your vital role for a long and fulfilling career. The true test is what you apply in your daily life. Consciously embed muscular safety into your everyday movements until they become second nature. Make it a habit to check your posture. Are your shoulders back? Is your core engaged? Is your head aligned? For repetitive tasks, take micro breaks. Stop to stretch your wrists, hands, and shoulders. Extend this mindset to every physical task. Before you lift, pause and run through the safe lifting checklist. Stable base, get close, squat down, straight back, lift with your legs. Scan for hazards and walk with awareness. Eventually, these safe practices will become automatic. Your body will move safely without you even having to think about it. While a significant focus of this module has been on preparing you for your examinations, its true purpose extends far beyond that. The information you have learned is a blueprint for a lifetime of muscular health, which is the bedrock of a long and sustainable career in food safety. The physical challenges of your job are not a one-time event. They are a daily reality. The cumulative effect of these daily stressors can, over time, lead to wear and tear that can compromise your health and your ability to work. Therefore, adopting a long-term perspective on your muscular health is not an option. It is an essential professional strategy. This long-term approach requires you to think of your body as a bank account. Every time you use poor posture, lift improperly, or push through fatigue, you are making a withdrawal from your physical capital. Every time you engage in strengthening exercises, stretch tight muscles, get adequate sleep, and eat nutritious food, you are making a deposit. For a sustainable career, you must ensure that your deposits consistently outweigh your withdrawals. This means integrating regular physical activity into your life, not just as a hobby, but as a fundamental component of your professional maintenance routine. A balanced program of strength, cardio, and flexibility training is the best insurance policy you can have for your musculoskeletal health. Recovery is a critical, yet often overlooked part of this long-term equation. In our fast-paced world, rest can be seen as a luxury, but for your muscles, it is a necessity. It is during periods of rest and sleep that your muscle fibers repair themselves and grow stronger. Consistently cutting sleep short or failing to take days off from intense activity is a direct path to burnout and injury. Prioritizing 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night is one of the most powerful things you can do to support muscle recovery, cognitive function, and overall resilience. Listening to your body and giving it the time it needs to heal is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Ultimately, taking responsibility for your long-term muscular health is a reflection of your professionalism. It demonstrates an understanding that your physical capacity is a finite resource that must be managed wisely. It shows a commitment not just to the job you will do tomorrow, but to the job you will be doing 5, 10, and 20 years from now. By embracing these principles of proactive maintenance and recovery, you are not just studying for a test. You are laying the groundwork for a career that is not only successful and impactful, but also healthy, vibrant, and sustainable for the long haul. A fascinating and powerful outcome of understanding your muscular system is the profound boost in confidence it can provide as you step into your role as a food safety officer. Confidence in this profession is built on a foundation of knowledge and competence. While much of that relates to food science, regulations, and inspection techniques, A significant portion is also tied to your physical presence and capability. When you feel physically strong, stable, and in control of your movements, you project an aura of competence and authority that can be invaluable during interactions with facility managers and staff. This physical confidence is not about intimidation, it is about self-assurance. Imagine walking into a large, bustling processing plant. If you are worried about your footing on a slippery floor, or if your back is already aching from the drive, your focus is divided. Your attention is drawn inward to your own discomfort and uncertainty. However, if you have trained your body for balance and strength, and you are wearing the proper supportive footwear, you can stride onto that floor with confidence. Your mind is free to focus completely on the task at hand, observing the environment, identifying potential hazards, and conducting a thorough inspection. This freedom from physical distraction allows your professional skills to shine, making you a more effective and observant officer. This confidence also extends to your ability to handle any physical task the job might present. When you encounter a heavy container that needs to be moved to check a date code, you don't have to hesitate or feel anxious about hurting yourself. You have the knowledge and the practice skill to assess the load and lift it safely and efficiently. This self-reliance builds a deep sense of capability. It means you can perform your duties thoroughly, without cutting corners because a physical task seems too daunting. This comprehensive approach to your work, enabled by physical confidence, enhances the quality and integrity of your inspections. Furthermore, this understanding demystifies the aches and pains that can arise from a physically active job. Instead of feeling a generic sense of fatigue, you can identify that perhaps your hamstrings are tight, or your shoulder muscles are overworked from a specific task. This diagnostic ability allows you to take targeted action, such as performing specific stretches or modifying your technique, which is an incredibly empowering position to be in. It replaces vague anxiety about your body with a clear, actionable plan for self-care. This deep, practical confidence in your own physical competence is a powerful asset that will support you in every aspect of your challenging and rewarding career. Our journey through the muscular system is now complete, but your personal journey of applying this knowledge is just beginning. As you move forward into your career as a food safety officer, I encourage you to view what you have learned not as a finished subject, but as the start of an ongoing commitment to both your professional excellence and your personal well-being. The two are inextricably linked. A commitment to protecting public health must be built upon a parallel commitment to protecting your own health. The principles we have discussed are the tools to help you honor that dual commitment every single day. Carry with you the image of the three muscle types working in harmony. The skeletal muscles performing your voluntary actions, supported by the tireless work of your cardiac and smooth muscles. Let this be a metaphor for your own career. Your conscious professional actions must be supported by the often unseen background work of self-care, physical maintenance, and recovery. Just as a failure in one muscle type can compromise the whole system, neglecting your personal well-being will eventually compromise your professional effectiveness. Strive for this balance in all that you do. Embrace a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation. As you gain more experience in the field, you will become even more attuned to the specific physical demands of your role. Pay attention to your body's feedback. It is an incredibly intelligent system that will tell you when a particular habit is causing strain or when a certain muscle group needs more attention. Use your foundational knowledge from this module to interpret that feedback and make intelligent adjustments to your routines, your equipment, and your self-care practices. Be a proactive student of your own body throughout your career. Finally, take immense pride in the path you have chosen. Being a food safety officer is a role of profound importance, and it requires individuals who are not only knowledgeable and ethical, but also physically and mentally resilient. By committing to the principles of muscular health and safe practice, you are ensuring that you can bring your best self to this vital work for many years to come. You are building a career that is not just successful, but sustainable. I wish you the very best on your journey forward, confident that you now possess the knowledge to protect not only the public, but also yourselves, the dedicated guardians of our food supply.